October, we had an interesting conversation on whether weed was a harmful substance, and there was interesting recollections on experiences with edibles.
It's not.
Yeah, so this was the month when we also talked about if African love today is influenced by Western culture. And in sports, Kenya Safari Sevens was for the first time ever postponed. We also had an extensive conversations on whether it's important to teach Kiswahili to our diaspora kids. You'll remember this was the month that, there was that Chaukidu Kiswahili conference at Howard University. And then October was also a guest-heavy month. We hosted Hakizetu founding member Annette Karanja, and that's a day when I had a throat issue, never happened before. Never happened before, but yeah. And then also within that same month, we hosted fertility specialist Dr. Kirekio Manwa. And we can't forget about Brittany Caldwell. My Brittany.
That is all in October?
Yes, this was all in October.
Was a lot.
In Africa.
Yes, and Brittany is a U.S. expert living in Kenya. She was talking on her experiences as a Black American living in Nairobi. Again, to the audience, we're looking for a favorite topic. And this one's we mentioned in October, your most impactful guest, your least favorite or boring topics. We also want you to critique our bright and blind spots. We want you to tell us about guests we should have hosted that we did not. So I'm going to go back to the panel again. This time, wacha nianze na wewe Mosh.
Finally.
Unakam lonely sana hapo.
Alikuwa anafunga macho struggling. Alikuwa anaweka toothpicks hapa.
Ulikuwa shaingia vacation.
And a brownie deficiency.
Brownie deficiency.
Yes, so kwa all these conversations we had in the month of October, the ones that I just talked about, which was the most compelling to you?
I think compelling, they're neck and neck. Fertility with Daktari. And for me, that was because it was more of a personal subject, but it's also a subject that with Africans and then men, it's very, 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 very rarely addressed.
True.
And those people who do address it tend to keep it close to home. Like it happens, you keep it in the closet, and things happen, and you don't say anything about it. As in, if you go through the whole process and it works for you, you're not going out there and singing, the good news that this is groundbreaking, this is helpful, this can, you can, it's life-changing, because it is indeed life-changing, right? So for me, I thought that just the fact that, we could have an African male doctor speak to this and speak as both a doctor, as an African, and then be able to articulate it so that we could pick up the subject and also understand where it was coming from and the taboo behind it, or lack of taboo, or lack of knowledge, or people not speaking about it. I thought that was really, really, it was a lot.
Okay.
And I think if we had more time, we probably would have done an 8-hour show.
Yeah.
That I think was the first interview that went through the full 3 hours of the OneMicShow.
Over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Over 3 hours.
But
he liked it though.
No, I'm just saying.
And
he wasn't giving us this signal.
No, I don't think he was. No, he was not.
He was not. And in that, he's a good narrator.
Yeah. He's a good communicator.
A good he's a good communicator.
He's empathetic.
Yes.
At Nairobi University, he's a lecturer.
Yeah, he's empathetic. You see,
especially for that topic. Yeah, topic.
I realized how careful he was with the issue about
sensitive.
Sensitive. With the issue about Mira Mogoka. He was very, he was very sensitive. He did not, because I think sometimes when some of these substances that are used by a certain class of people, the way sometimes people talk about it, the intended recipient is never going to listen to you just by the way you start talking about it. So he was very sensitive to that. And I think, he gave, and he wasn't giving, especially in places, in things that had not been properly researched, he wasn't giving, a position, because like with Mira, he was like right in between. He didn't
Yes.
say it's good, it's bad, but he talked about the fact
Could
that
impact.
it will keep you away from your family. We
Yes.
badala uko na family huko, ukicheza michezo ya jogo, we uko huko nini? Uko huko base unakula gomba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Muhadhara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, moving on from that one, the other one was Britney.
Okay. What about Britney?
Man, her take of living in Africa as a black person who is not African, mind blowing. Because normally we don't get that.
We don't.
And if you do get it, it's gonna be somebody who packed up and said, "Bump Stato, I'm out."
We mostly get, like Bandio said, missionaries.
I guess you could call them there. But there's a lot more people
sorry.
who actually are, packing up shop here, selling everything they have, and they're moving.
Mostly those are jungus.
moving.
Let
No,
us just say
no,
that.
no, no.
No, it's coming to light that blacks are
Blacks are doing it.
blacks are doing it,
I'm seeing
but
a
it's not per se at the advertiser out there. It's just recently
mainly in West Africa, Ghana.
West Africa, Ghana.
correct.
And because
maybe
of
for me,
Wademaya,
for me, I see a lot of other
but
things.
it's
so,
recent.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
prior to that is you just see mzungu ameenda huko, a guy mzungu ameenda Kenya, mzungu ameenda
You know-
but it was the first time you're seeing
I think the most
black chick.
compelling part about Britney's interview was the fact that, like what Bandio was saying, typically blacks are known to go to West Africa. But here's a black American talking so passionately about Kenya and how, and she's encouraging other people to go there. But I think to me, the most powerful part about her conversation was her authenticity. And this is where sometimes I say we have to have a good balance. You see, like the conversation about, for example, where she was talking about referring to black as Kenyans. Most people would not say what she said. But I think it's something that a lot of people, maybe they have in the back of their minds. But she came out and said it, and actually that's one, the one that got, the piece that got most traction was the one about why she preferred East Africa over West Africa. And then that one also for black as Kenyans, and a lot of people were angry at her and everything.
They got feelings.
But this is where I keep saying, like authenticity sometimes brings out things to light.
Yes.
That were not there. And I think her comfort of being able to bring that, there was a lot of old school, like black Americans who are coming on the comments and saying, oh, like this is not how we think and everything. And I tend to think they're not a monolith.
They're not.
Like
No,
they're
absolutely
definitely
not a monolith.
Yeah. But I think they also felt like she's portraying them in a bad light. But to me, the way I saw it as her just being her authentic self and giving light to us to understand certain things